Hello class, a very good evening to all of you. My name is Ashutosh and again I am here with a very interesting topic. And actually we already started this topic in a last class and we are going to continue with some other subtopics in this class. So I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. Whatever your queries, whatever you want to address me, you can tell it to me in the chat box. So first of all, I want to know about you all. How was your day, everyone? What you done today? And I want to give you a very important information about our classes. If you want the classes on a regular basis, if you want help, we are here. So what you need to do, you need to visit our site, which is Infinity Learn site. You can see here, the link is given to you. And if you are going to see in this video, in the description, you all are able to find the links there. Now, the question is that, sir, why you are suggesting this link? We are here, we launched a program which is known as Vijay Bhav program. What is this Vijay Bhav program? I hope you all know about the meaning of Vijay Bhav, right? आपको पता ही होगा, Vijay Bhav का मतलब होता है something like which you want to win, right? Vijay is something which is related to the win. Now, we all are having our goals. हम सबके अपने goals होते हैं. We want to achieve that goals. And we are here to help you in achieving your goals. What we are going to do, we are here 24/7 for all of you. If you are going to join our classes, whenever you are having doubts, whenever you are having queries, you can ask to us. Second thing, we are providing you a content which is definitely something which is very impressive. You get all the numericals, all the questions, everything in a one single platform for all the subjects. And definitely that sounds very interesting, right? So for that, if you want to join our family, if you want to take the classes on a regular basis, if you want to enhance your knowledge and skills, what you need to do, you need to join our Infinity Learn classes. How you can join these Infinity Learn classes? So as I said you, this is a link which I provided it to you. First, you need to visit this site and the courses are there, the crash courses are there, book courses there, and definitely that is going to help you. What you need to do, you need to fill all the information here, like your name, your grade, your registered number, and then you need to apply this code which is Ashutosh 20. You all know that my name is Ashutosh, and after my name, when you are going to write 20, you will get 20% instant discount. That is definitely something which is very good, right? So class, Ashutosh 20 code जब आप use करोगे, you will get 20% discount on whatever course you want to take. So what I want from all of you to do share it with your friends who want help, and definitely they are going to enhance their knowledge, their skills, their content and everything. So we can continue the class now. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. Quickly let me know through the chat box. Now class, what we are going to learn, we are going to continue with the motion topic. In last class, what we already completed, we talked about distance, displacement, speed, velocity, what is vector quantity, what is a scalar quantity. All those topics we already completed. Let me give you a quick recall about these things. So the students who are new here, I'm going to give you a quick recall so you can also continue with the today's topics. Okay, and अगर कोई doubt हो रहा है जो पहले के topics हैं उनमें कोई चीज नहीं समझ में आई हुई है, you can definitely ask it to me in the chat box, everyone. Okay, and always feel to ask your doubt. Why I am coming live? The motive is that at least you can ask your doubt. जैसे मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा हूं, कोई चीज आपको समझ में नहीं आई, तुरंत आप अपने डाउट चैट बॉक्स के थ्रू मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं, राइट? दैट इज अ प्रॉफिट फॉर यू एंड फॉर मी ऑल्सो. That's why we are connecting live here. Okay, and everyone do share it with your friends now. तो जल्दी से यहाँ पे हम लोग सब क्लास में आज काफी ज्यादा कॉन्सेप्ट्स को हम पढ़ पाएंगे. एंड अगेन आई एम सेइंग, कोई भी डाउट हो, कोई भी क्वेरी हो, यू कैन आस्क इट टू मी इन द चैट बॉक्स. नाउ in the last class we started with the two words scalar and vector. So what is this scalar quantities and vector quantities? We all know that in physics we are having the physical quantities. What are the physical quantities? Anything which we can measure. So many examples: length, mass, weight, force, work. These all are coming under the physical quantities. Now further, these physical quantities, we can say that some of them are scalar and some of them are vector quantities. The question arises here, how we can say that any physical quantity is a scalar quantity or any other quantity is a vector quantity. There is a very simple difference between the scalar quantity and vector quantity. What is that difference? Can anyone tell me? Try to recall and tell me in the chat box, everyone. What is a scalar? What is vector? What do you understand from these two terms? Okay. So let me give you the idea again about the scalar and vector quantities class. Very simple. They are the two words. One is magnitude and one is direction. When we are representing any physical quantity which required only magnitude to represent them, that is something which is known as a scalar quantity. So, very simple, very easy. What is a scalar quantity? Any physical quantities which required only magnitude to represent them, that is known as a scalar quantity. What is vector quantity? Vector quantity is something where we require the direction as well as the magnitude. Okay? So, vector quantities are those quantities where we require magnitude along with the direction. That is something which is known as vector quantity. So, a very basic difference. Let me give you a few examples here. So, first of all, what I want from all of you to think about some examples and give it to me in the chat box. Quickly, everyone, you are having 1 or 2 minute time to put it in the chat box. Please drop your masters in the chat box and let me know what do you understand with the terms and what examples you are having in your mind about the scalar and vector quantities. Just give me a minute, class. I will be back in a minute. Okay, so class, quickly put it in the chat box. The examples of scalar and vector quantities, very simple. The quantities which required only magnitude to represent them, that is something which is a scalar quantity. Talking about the vector quantity, which required direction as well as magnitude. As you can see here, the few examples are already written here, speed and velocity. So talking about speed, actually the difference between the speed and velocity is that only, that speed not require any kind of direction. If I am saying that the speed is 5 meters per second, that is quite enough. What I am writing magnitude with a unit. I am writing the numerical value with a unit. That is enough for the speed. But when I am talking about the velocity, velocity is also having the direction. Without direction, we cannot say anything about the velocity. Example, talking about force. When I am applying a force on any object, definitely I am specifically applying it in any direction. The force I am applying, it is having the direction. So talking about force, force is a vector quantity. Now, some other examples, length, mass, these are the scalar quantities. What about the weight? What do you think, class, about the weight? Weight is a scalar quantity or is it a vector quantity? Like in the last class I told you, mass is not having any direction, but weight is having the direction. Right now I am standing here where my weight is acting, definitely in a downward direction. If I am putting a book on a table, where the weight of that book is acting, definitely on the downside of the table, in a downward direction. So weight is having a direction, that's why it is a vector quantity, and mass is not having any direction, that's why it is a scalar quantity. So I hope the scalar and vector concept is clear to all of you. After that, in our last class, we discussed that distance and displacement. What is distance? What is displacement? So distance is having a very simple definition or a very simple explanation, I can say that. Distance is something, the total path covered by the object. I will give you the same example again that will help you to understand about the distance. Talking about distance, I can say that if this is a square field A, B, C, D, and this square field is having the side equal to a meter. And now a person who is standing on the point A, he is moving along the boundary and finally it comes to the point C. Now, the question arises here, what is the distance and what is the displacement here? So, in the last class, as I explained you, distance is a total path covered by the object. So, in this case, if I am talking about the distance here, distance here will be equal to AB plus BC. That is the path he covered. Am I right? AB plus BC. So, the definition of distance, as it says that the total path covered by the object is known as distance. Now, it is A plus A, which will give you 2A meter distance. That is a right answer. That is not m, that is meter. Don't get confused with that. Okay. So, that is 2A meter. Now, if in the same question, I am asking you what is the displacement here, class? What will be the displacement here? So, displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point. Shortest distance between initial and final point. Right? So, shortest distance between the initial and final point in this question, if I am talking about, this is the initial position, this is the final position. So, what will be the displacement here? I can say that it is equal to AC, which is nothing else, it's just the diagonal of the square. So, in the last class also I told you there are the two ways to calculate this diagonal. If I want to calculate the displacement here, I need to calculate the value of AC. It's very simple. We all know that by mathematical formula, the diagonal of a square is side root 2. What it is? Side root 2. What is the side here? A multiplied with root 2. So, A root 2 meter. Clear everyone? That is the difference between the distance and displacement. Few other differences are there that if an object is in a motion, distance can never be 0. But displacement can be 0. Can anyone give me any example? Right. So, the example is circular motion. When an object is moving in a circular path. So, what is happening if the object is moving in a circular path? If it is having the radius r and center is O, and if the object is moving from the point A and again comes back to the point A, what will be the displacement here? Definitely, the displacement will be 0. Why 0? Because initial and final point is same. So, there will be no distance between the initial and final point. But if I am asking you what is the total distance covered here? So, total distance covered here, as you know, it is moving along the circumference of a circle. So, it will be equal to circumference, which will be 2 pi r. Easy, right? So, that is also the one difference, that distance of an object, when it is in a motion, it can never be 0, but displacement can be 0. Distance is a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. Because for displacement, the direction is also required. What is the direction of displacement from initial point to the final point? That is the direction of displacement. Moving ahead with the next point, in the last class also we discussed about speed and velocity. What is the speed? The distance traveled per second by a moving object is called the speed. So, it is a very simple formula. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. What will be the standard unit? The standard unit meter per second. How it is coming meter per second? Distance we know that is the length itself. We are measuring it in a meter and time is second. So that will be meter per second, right? Talking about velocity, velocity is displacement divided by time. And actually, so many times a student got confused with a definition. In a definition, sometimes what is happening? यहाँ पे आप देखो the distance traveled per second by a moving object in a particular direction is called velocity. So आप कहोगे सर यहाँ तो distance ही लिखा है, यहाँ तो displacement नहीं लिखा है. But the important point is that students यहाँ पे distance के साथ एक बहुत important चीज mention है, that is a particular direction. So distance with a direction, that is displacement itself. So don't get confused. Speed is distance divided by time. Velocity is displacement divided by time. That is the very first difference between them. Second difference, speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. The velocity tells us that the speed as well as the direction of motion. It is telling us about the speed, but also in which direction the object is moving. That also is giving the idea. Now, the speed is always positive since direction is not taken into the consideration. If I'm not taking the direction into the consideration, definitely this physical quantity is always positive. Same like a distance. Distance is always positive or zero, but never can be negative. Displacement, possible. Positive, negative, zero, anything is possible, right? Moving ahead with the next one. After one round in a circular path, the speed is zero. Why the speed is zero in a circular path? After one round in a circular path, the average speed is not zero, right? Velocity will be zero. Why the average velocity will be zero? Because talking about the average velocity is total displacement divided by total time. Again, they are talking about the circular motion. So if a person is starting from a A point and again he is coming back to the A point, the displacement will be zero. If the displacement is zero, the velocity is going to be zero. Okay. So we are clear with these many points: distance, displacement, speed, velocity, scalar quantity, vector quantity. Any confusion, any doubt you are having till now, please let me know. Quickly. After that, what we are going to discuss about the acceleration and retardation. We will come to this point. What is retardation? First, we need to understand what is acceleration. How I can define this term acceleration. Very simple definition. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity. With the help of this definition, we can get the formula also. I will come to this point. Generally, bodies do not move with a uniform velocities. Why it is not moving with a uniform velocity? I told you the concept of uniform velocity also. Uniform velocity is something when equal distances cover in equal time interval. Equal distances in equal time interval. And that is not possible always, right? What is happening? Like अगर मैं एक सिंपल केस की बात करूं कि हम लोग कभी भी कहीं किसी ट्रिप पे जा रहे हैं या कहीं हम बाहर निकल रहे हैं, किसी व्हीकल से हम ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, so what is happening? Because there will be lot of vehicles in the road, तो हम सेम स्पीड से या सेम वेलोसिटी से तो मूव नहीं होते हैं. कभी हमारी स्पीड होती है 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड, कभी 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड, कभी 40 मीटर पर सेकेंड. ऑन अ हाईवे मे बी 80 मीटर पर सेकेंड, 90 मीटर पर सेकेंड. सो दैट इज द थिंग. बॉडीज डू नॉट मूव विद अ यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी. मतलब हर बार इक्वल डिस्टेंसेस हम कवर नहीं करते हैं इक्वल टाइम इंटरवल में. That's why there will be the variable velocity. What is the meaning of variable velocity? There is a change in a velocity, and if there is a change in a velocity, definitely the acceleration or the retardation will be there. Correct? The definition, the rate of change of velocity. When the velocity is getting changed, either the acceleration is there or the retardation will be there. Clear everyone? Moving ahead. For example, the motion of a vehicle in a busy market, as I already gave you the idea, or while leaving or approaching a destination with a variable velocity. The motion of a planet or a satellite in a circular path is also with a variable velocity. Now, the definition is very simple, as I already gave it to you. The acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with the time. Quickly note it down, everyone. What is acceleration? Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with respect to the time. So acceleration is numerically equal to the change in a velocity in 1 second. what it is numerically equal to change in a velocity in 1 second. Now, let's try to find out the formula. Very simple, very easy. Yes, okay, fine. Moving ahead, acceleration. As I said you, it is a change in a velocity divided by the time interval. Let's take one more example here. Let's take the example here. The example which we can take here, initially, our object is moving with a u velocity, u meter per second. Okay, object is moving with u meter per second. We applied some external force on it, and now it's having the velocity v meter per second after the time interval t second. Now, if I'm asking you, what is the change in a velocity here? What is the change in a velocity here? So what we can say the change in a velocity? Can anyone tell me? Quickly let me know. Yes, we just started the class, so students are going to join. Do share it with your friends so they can also join. And that is very important if you are joining the live classes. It's also fine, you can see it after some time also. But when you are in the live class, what you are able to see, you can ask your doubts, you can ask your questions. Right? Quickly tell me, what is change in a velocity here? What we can say? The change in a velocity, we can say that here, the final velocity is v, the initial velocity is u. So change in velocity, again say very simple, it is final velocity minus initial velocity. Right? And that should be divided by time according to the definition of acceleration. What is the definition of acceleration? Rate of change of velocity. Now, v meter per second is the final velocity, u meter per second is the initial velocity. So what we can do here, v minus u by t. Correct? Simple. So what is the formula of acceleration, class? The formula of acceleration is v minus u by t. Final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. The standard unit, meter per second divided by second. Why we are dividing meter per second by second again? Because we know that if I am saying that it is a change in a velocity with respect to the time, the change in a velocity is always in meter per second. And again we need to divide with the time because the time is here. So the unit is meter per second square. Or sometimes we are also writing it meter second minus 2. We all know that कि second square को जब हम numerator पे लेके जाएंगे, power यहाँ पे कैसी हो जाएगी? The power will become negative. So meter second minus 2. I hope till this point everyone is clear. Any confusion, any doubt you are having, you can ask it to me in the chat box, everyone. Okay, moving ahead, relation of a acceleration. So that we already got it, but let's say it. Let a body is moving in a straight line in a one direction with an initial velocity u. Its velocity changes in a short time interval t, and the final velocity becomes v after the time t. Then I already told you what will be the formula. A is equal to v minus u by t. Now, how we are getting this? V is equal to u plus at, and this is also the equation of motion. In the next class, we are going to talk about the equation of motion. Okay, how we can prove it graphically, how we can prove it mathematically, and that is very, very important. Also, the graph part we are going to talk about. Graphs are very important. The distance time graph, displacement time graph, speed time, velocity time graph. What we can get from the slope. What we can get from the area bounded under the curve. Very important part of this particular topic, right? So first you need to understand everything. What is acceleration? What is distance, displacement? How we can define them? What is the formula? Then only we can learn about the graphs. Then only we can learn about the equations of motion. So do not miss that part. V is equal to u plus at. How it is coming? It is very simple. As we just got the formula, A is equal to v minus u by t. Cross multiplying time here, that will be at, v minus u. U I am sending to this side, so that will become v is equal to u plus at. Simple, easy. V is equal to u plus at. I hope it is very clear to all of you. Okay, so that is something about the acceleration. Now it is very important for us to understand three terms: positive acceleration, zero acceleration, and negative acceleration. So definitely this question is coming in your mind, sir, how this thing is happening, why this thing is happening, right? As we just discussed, किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट के लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है कि वो सेम वेलोसिटी से मूव कर रहा हो. जब रोड्स खाली होती हैं तो क्या होता है, स्पीड बढ़ जाती है, वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज हो जाती है. जब रोड्स पे बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैफिक होता है, बहुत ज्यादा व्हीकल्स होते हैं, तो क्या होता है, स्पीड कम हो जाती है. या फिर फ्यू केसेस आर देयर जहां पे सिग्नल रेड है, वी नीड टू स्टॉप आवर व्हीकल. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दीज केसेस? Talking about the very first case, positive acceleration. What is happening in a positive acceleration? So positive acceleration, when velocity of an object increases with the time. Increases with the time. We will get the positive acceleration. Let's take an example. We all know that the formula is A is equal to V minus U by T. We all know that the formula A is equal to V minus U by T, right? No confusion. I hope everyone is clear with that. So acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. I'm giving you an example. If an object is initially moving with 4 meter per second and after 2 seconds its velocity become 6 meter per second, then what will be the acceleration here? How we can calculate the acceleration? Very simple. We all know the formula, final velocity minus initial velocity divided by the time. What is the final velocity here? 6 meter per second. What is the initial velocity here? 4 meter per second. What is the time here? 2 seconds. That is a very simple example I took just to explain you the positive acceleration. 1 meter per second square. Coming पॉजिटिव वैल्यू आ रही है 1 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. तो जब ऑब्जेक्ट की वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज करेगी टाइम के साथ, वी विल हैव अ पॉजिटिव एक्सेलरेशन देयर. राइट एवरीवन? When the object velocity is increasing with respect to the time, what we can say that? We can say that वहां पे positive acceleration है. Right? Zero acceleration. Zero acceleration is something when the body is moving with a uniform velocity. Let us consider some case कि वहां पे वेलोसिटी एक सेम वेलोसिटी से, वहां पे कोई ऑब्जेक्ट है वो सेम वेलोसिटी से मूव कर रहा है. लाइक इफ ऑब्जेक्ट इज मूविंग विद 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड, यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड. सो व्हाट विल बी द एक्सेलरेशन हियर? सो यू आर गोइंग टू से दैट सर इनिशियल वेलोसिटी भी 10 है, फाइनल वेलोसिटी भी 10 है. सो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी हैपन अकॉर्डिंग टू द फॉर्मूला? वी नो दैट A is equal to V minus U by T, 10 minus 10, whatever the time it is, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, any time. So that will be the zero. So when the velocity of a object is not changing with respect to the time, then there will be the zero acceleration. Talking about the negative acceleration, I think now you can itself give me the definition of negative acceleration. Negative acceleration itself known as retardation. Negative acceleration itself known as retardation. What is retardation? Retardation means when the velocity is getting decreased with respect to the time. If I'm driving any vehicle moving with 40 meter per second and I applied the brake and finally I come to rest. So initially I'm moving with 40 meter per second. Finally I come to rest, which means 0 meter per second. That is the final velocity, that is the initial velocity, and the time here is 10 seconds. So if I am asking you what is the acceleration here, very simple, 0 minus 40 divided by 10, which means minus 40 divided by 10, which will give you minus 4 meter per second square. Getting the negative value here, minus 4 meter per second square. What this negative sign is showing you? The negative sign is showing you that velocity is getting decreased with respect to the time, which means it is a negative acceleration or retardation. Simple, very easy. Now, few examples we are going to see here. Examples, numericals, questions, very important thing these are, right? So, the very first example if we are going to see here, suppose a car initially at rest. So, if it is at rest, initial velocity is 0. Am I right? Yes, Anshu, good evening. Initial velocity is 0. On starting acquires a velocity of 20 meter per second. What is this 20 meter per second? That will be the final velocity. The final velocity will be 20 meter per second, right? This change has been brought about in 10 seconds, therefore the acceleration of car. What they are asking you? They are asking you the acceleration of the car. How we can calculate the acceleration, class? Tell me. I just give you the formula. What is the formula? The formula says that acceleration is rate of change of velocity, so it is v minus u by t. Correct? Final velocity minus initial velocity divided by the time. Now how we can calculate this? If you see here, the final velocity is given 20. Okay, let me write the formula again, v minus u by t. The final velocity is 20. Initial velocity, because it is starting from the rest. Always remember, class, when an object is starting from the rest, the initial velocity for that particular object will be 0. If the object is finally coming to the rest, that means that the final velocity will be 0. So these two things you need to keep in your mind. Very basic, very simple. Now, talking about acceleration, so final velocity is 20, initial velocity is 0, and this change is happening in a 10 seconds. So time is 10. Very simple, very easy, 20 by 10, which gives you 2 meter per second square. The value of acceleration will be here, 2 meter per second square. Clear? Now, uniform acceleration. What is uniform acceleration? How I can define this term uniform? Uniform, you all know that. Okay, what is Newton meter per second square? Newton meter per second square. Anshu, we will discuss that. According to you, if you are saying that it is, if you are saying, okay, let me give you the answer for this. Newton meter per second square. This you are asking. Force into distance divided by time. That is nothing actually. Force into distance divided by time. So what is Newton meter per second square? So Newton meter per second square, Newton is representing the force here. Meter is representing the length here, and second square is representing the time here. Basically, I'm not able to recall anything which is having a physical existence, Newton meter per second square. We will see this. We will see this. If we are going to talk about momentum, as I told it to you, P is equal to mv, right? P is equal to mv. For this, the unit is kilogram meter per second. What will be the unit? Kilogram meter per second. Right? Okay, we will check this. What is the unit, or what is the possible physical quantity for this Newton meter per second square? Don't worry, we will check this. Now, moving ahead, if in this case uniform acceleration we are talking about, what is the uniform acceleration? The acceleration is said to be uniform or constant when equal change in a velocity take place in an equal interval of time. Means if I'm saying that in each 2 seconds, the velocity is getting changed 2 meter per second. Then I can say that the acceleration will be constant here, which will be 1 meter per second square. The acceleration will be uniform because हर 2 सेकंड में वेलोसिटी कितनी चेंज हो रही है? 2 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर, राइट? मतलब लेट मी गिव यू द एग्जांपल. एक ऑब्जेक्ट इनिशियली रेस्ट पे था, उसने मूव करना स्टार्ट किया तो 0 रही होगी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी. उसने मूव करना स्टार्ट किया, वो हर 2 सेकंड में 2 मीटर पर सेकंड स्पीड इंक्रीज कर रहा है in each 2 seconds. So if you are going to calculate the acceleration, in each case, here it is 2 minus 0 divided by 2, you will get 1 meter per second square. Same here also, you will get, how much you get? Oh sorry, that will be 4 and that will be 6. 2 meter per second increase हो रही है ना, so that will be 4, that will be 6. तो यहां पे आप कैलकुलेट करोगे 4 minus 2 divided by 2, again you will get 1 meter per second square. Here again you will get 1 meter per second square. तो यूनिफॉर्म एक्सेलरेशन कब हो रहा है? यूनिफॉर्म एक्सेलरेशन बच्चों तब होगा जब वेलोसिटी इक्वली चेंज हो रही है इक्वल टाइम इंटरवल में. वेरी सिंपल एंड इजी. कोई कंफ्यूजन तो नहीं है? जल्दी से बताओ, यहां तक कोई कंफ्यूजन तो नहीं है किसी को? जल्दी से बताइए. ओके, तो अंशु अगर इसकी बात करें, आई थिंक दैट इज द यूनिट ऑफ मोमेंटम. देखिए, फोर्स इज इक्वल टू क्या होता है? मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन. अगर हम यहां से लें तो मास को व्हाट वी कैन राइट? F divided by A, right? So if I'm writing it, force divided by acceleration into velocity. So force is having the unit Newton. This is having meter per second. No, not for that. It is not for that. second square will be in up. Okay, we will check this. I hope it is clear to all of you. Uniform acceleration. So uniform acceleration, the example is free fall of a body is the example of uniform acceleration. पता है ना सबको free fall क्या होता है? जल्दी से बताओ. What is a free fall? Free fall क्या होता है? जल्दी से बताइए बच्चों. What is the meaning of free fall? अगर मैं यहां पे इस ऑब्जेक्ट को ड्रॉप कर दूं तो यहां पे सिर्फ एक फोर्स लगेगा उस पे विच इज ग्रेविटी ओनली. व्हाट फोर्स इज एक्टिंग देयर? ओनली द फोर्स ऑफ ग्रेविटी. ओके, यस कर्तव्य, हेलो, गुड इवनिंग, वेलकम टू द क्लास. तो बच्चों इस केस को हम कहते हैं फ्री फॉल का केस. फ्री फॉल ऑफ ए बॉडी, जब बॉडी सिर्फ मूव करती है अंडर द ग्रेविटी. द मोशन ऑफ ए बॉडी under the gravity, example free fall of a body is the example of uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration क्या होता है? Uniform acceleration क्या होता है? Uniform acceleration यहां पे अगर होगा तो वो होगा acceleration due to gravity, जिसकी वैल्यू होगी 9.8 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. रिमेंबर अंशु, आपने यहां पे पोटेंशियल एनर्जी का फॉर्मूला क्यों लिखा है? यस, दैट इज द राइट फॉर्मूला फॉर पोटेंशियल एनर्जी विच इज mgh, बट व्हाई यू आर राइटिंग इट हियर? आप एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी की बात कर रहे थे यहां पे. So acceleration due to gravity, yes, it is g. The value of g is 9.8 meter per second square, right? Okay. So moving ahead now with the next two term, which is variable acceleration. What is the meaning of variable acceleration? Okay, Anshu, I got it. Variable acceleration क्या होता है? बच्चों देखो, variable acceleration की अगर हम बात करें तो जैसे अभी हमने uniform acceleration देखा तो uniform acceleration में क्या हो रहा था? Equal velocity change हो रही थी equal time interval में, right? क्या हो रहा था वहां पे? इक्वल वेलोसिटी चेंज हो रही थी इक्वल टाइम इंटरवल में. जब अनइक्वल वेलोसिटी चेंज होगी इक्वल टाइम इंटरवल में, दैट विल बी द केस ऑफ वेरिएबल एक्सेलरेशन. वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल आई वांट टू गिव इट हियर. पहले 2 सेकंड में चेंज हुआ 0 से 5 मीटर पर सेकंड, फिर 5 से 8 मीटर पर सेकंड, फिर 8 से 11 मीटर पर सेकंड, एंड द टाइम इंटरवल इज 2 सेकंड इटसेल्फ. तो आप यहां पे देखो हर 2 सेकंड में वेलोसिटी अनइक्वली चेंज हो रही है. तो इफ द चेंज इन अ वेलोसिटी इज नॉट सेम इन द सेम इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम, देन द एक्सेलरेशन इज सेड टू बी वेरिएबल. द मोशन ऑफ व्हीकल ऑन अ क्राउडेड रोड इज विद अ वेरिएबल एक्सेलरेशन. वेरी सिंपल थिंग. अगर हम लोग कहीं निकले जहां पे बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैफिक है, व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी हैपन? हम मूव कर रहे हैं डिफरेंट स्पीड से, राइट? सर टीचर ने वेलोसिटी एंड स्पीड दोनों का फॉर्मूला सेम निकाल दिया. नहीं, दैट इज डिफरेंट अंशु. फॉर्मूला डिफरेंट होता है. स्पीड इज डिस्टेंस डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम एंड वेलोसिटी इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम. दैट इज वेरी क्लियर. अपने माइंड में क्लियर रखो, कंफ्यूज मत होना. कोई अगर कुछ और बता रहा है, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज विद दैट. वेरी सिंपल एंड इजी. मैंने यहां पे आज क्लास के स्टार्टिंग में ही आपको बताया था, स्पीड इज डिस्टेंस डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम, वेलोसिटी इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम, एंड देयर इट इज अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस बिटवीन द डिस्टेंस एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट. याद है ना, लास्ट क्लास में हम लोगों ने डिस्कस करा था डिस्टेंस इज अ स्केलर क्वांटिटी, डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. अगर एक सिंपल एग्जांपल लेते हैं हम सर्कुलर मोशन का, और एक ऑब्जेक्ट वापस अपने पोजीशन पे आ गया तो वहां पे वेलोसिटी हो जाएगी 0, बट स्पीड क्या होगी? स्पीड इक्वल होगी इसकी सर्कमफेरेंस के बराबर, राइट? तो फॉर्मूला सेम नहीं हो सकता है, डेफिनेटली इट नॉट सेम. ओके, ठीक है, चलिए जल्दी से आगे बढ़ते हैं यहां पे. तो आई होप ये सारी चीजें आपको क्लियर हो गई होंगी. नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, ऑलरेडी मैंने आपको इसका आइडिया दे दिया है. अर्थ सरफेस पे इसकी वैल्यू होती है 9.8 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. अर्थ सरफेस पे कांस्टेंट होता है. कुछ चेंजेस देखने को मिलते हैं, दैट वी विल डिस्कस. हम उसको डिस्कस करेंगे ग्रेविटेशन टॉपिक में कि कैसे एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी में और कहां पे चेंजेस देखने को मिलते हैं. बट राइट नाउ यू कैन टेक इट एज ए कांस्टेंट ऑन अर्थ सरफेस विच इज 9.8 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. लेकिन ये हर जगह कांस्टेंट नहीं होता है. अगर आप एक प्लैनेट से दूसरे प्लैनेट पे मूव कर रहे हो या कहीं एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे जा रहे हो तो डेफिनेटली वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगी. ये मैं अर्थ सरफेस पे वैल्यू बता रहा हूं एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी की, दैट इज 9.8 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. सो व्हेन अ बॉडी फॉल्स अंडर द ग्रेविटी, द एक्सेलरेशन प्रोड्यूस्ड इन द बॉडी ड्यू टू द अर्थ ग्रेविटेशनल अट्रैक्शन इज कॉल्ड द एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी. मतलब अगर मैं इस ऑब्जेक्ट को छोड़ दूं, अगर मैं इस ऑब्जेक्ट को ड्रॉप कर दूं, तो ग्रेविटी की वजह से ये जिस इस पे जो एक्सेलरेशन लग रहा है, द एक्सेलरेशन बाय विच इट इज फॉलिंग इन अ डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन, दैट इज द एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी. ओके, गुरुत्वीय त्वरण कहते हैं. हाँ, हिंदी में इसको अगर करेक्ट प्रोनाउंस करें, वी कैन से दैट गुरुत्वीय त्वरण. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग वर्ड, राइट? ओके, त्वरण क्या होता है? एक्सेलरेशन. व्हेन अ बॉडी फॉल्स freely under the gravity, the acceleration produced in the body due to the Earth's gravitation is called the acceleration due to gravity. It is generally denoted by a small letter g. When a body falls down, its velocity increases with the time. the acceleration is plus g. When the body moves vertically upwards, its velocity decreases with the time, so the acceleration is minus g. Because हमें सिंपल सा ये चीज पता है कि ग्रेविटी की डायरेक्शन होती है डाउनवर्ड. अगर सेम डायरेक्शन में मूव हो रहा है तो एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी क्या हो जाएगा? पॉजिटिव जी. एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी पॉजिटिव होगा व्हेन इट इज मूविंग इन अ डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन. क्यों होगा पॉजिटिव? बिकॉज ग्रेविटी कहां एक्ट कर रही है? अर्थ की सेंटर की तरफ, डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन में. तो व्हेन इट इज मूविंग इन अ डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन, द डायरेक्शन इज सेम, तो हम वहां पॉजिटिव साइन से शो करते हैं. अगर मैंने इस ऑब्जेक्ट को ऊपर फेंका है, मेरे हाथ में कोई बॉल है, मैंने उसको ऊपर फेंका है, तो उसके लिए एक्सेलरेशन क्या होगा? दैट विल बी माइनस जी. दैट इज अ वेरी बेसिक डिफरेंस विच वी नीड टू रिमेंबर. और ये हमारे काम आएगा कहां पे? जब हम इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन लगा के कोई क्वेश्चन और कोई न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्व करते हैं. ठीक है, तो इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे, इसी टॉपिक के अंदर है. दो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं जो आने वाली क्लास में डिस्कस होने वाली हैं, सो डोंट मिस दैट क्लास. मैं देख रहा हूं कि कुछ लोग बच्चे यहां पे क्लास मिस कर देते हैं, वो बाद में देख लेते होंगे, दैट्स नॉट एन इश्यू. बट द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट क्लास कि आप जब लाइव क्लास में होगे तो आप अपने डाउट्स मुझसे तुरंत क्लियर कर सकते हो. राइट, यू कैन आस्क योर डाउट. सर बहुत ऊपर से कोई चीज, उसकी स्पीड लगातार क्यों बढ़ती है? हाँ, उसकी स्पीड क्यों बढ़ रही है लगातार? बिकॉज जैसे जैसे वो नीचे गिरता जा रहा है उस पर एक्सेलरेशन कितना लग रहा है? 9.8. तो अगेन एंड अगेन वो इंक्रीज होता जाएगा ना. फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? देखो, फॉर्मूला होता है v इज इक्वल टू यू प्लस जी टी. ठीक है, अगर इनिशियल, अब ये पेन है, इसको मैं ड्रॉप करूं तो इसकी इनिशियल वेलोसिटी तो 0 थी. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं जी तो कांस्टेंट हो गया, अब सब कुछ टाइम पे है ना डिपेंड. तो मैं पूछूं 2 सेकंड बाद स्पीड कितनी होगी? आप कहोगे जी इंटू 2. मैं पूछूं 3 सेकंड बाद स्पीड कितनी होगी? आप कहोगे सर जी इंटू 3. क्लियर? क्यों बढ़ रही है वेलोसिटी टाइम के साथ? आई होप इट इज क्लियर टू यू. वेरी सिंपल एंड वेरी इजी. राइट, बिकॉज ऑफ द फोर्स ऑफ ग्रेविटी. कांस्टेंट फोर्स एक्ट कर रहा है वहां पे ग्रेविटी का. तो जैसे जैसे वो नीचे आती जा रही है वैसे वैसे उसकी वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज होती जाएगी. और बिफोर हिटिंग द ग्राउंड दैट विल बी मैक्सिमम. ग्राउंड पे हिट करने से पहले मैक्सिमम होगी. बिफोर हिटिंग द ग्राउंड दैट विल बी मैक्सिमम. राइट, और जैसे ही ग्राउंड से टकराएगी 0 हो जाएगा. राइट, ओके, समझ में आ गया. वेरी नाइस. नाउ व्हाट दे आर सेइंग, एक्सप्रेस 36 किलोमीटर पर आवर इन मीटर पर सेकेंड. जल्दी से बताओ. लेट मी हाइड दिस, लेट मी राइट द क्वेश्चन हियर. 36 किलोमीटर पर आवर को आपको चेंज करना है मीटर पर सेकेंड में. कैसे करोगे? बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. कन्वर्जन्स तो पता ही होने चाहिए, कन्वर्जन्स तो याद होना चाहिए. सर आपने काइनेटिक एनर्जी पढ़ा दिया? यस अंशु, वर्क पावर एनर्जी में काइनेटिक एनर्जी डिस्कस हो चुका है. एक बार वर्क पावर एनर्जी की क्लास देख लेना जाके बच्चे, और अगर कोई चीज नहीं समझ में आ रही है यू कैन आस्क इट टू मी. ओके, पहले इसको करो जल्दी से. 36 किलोमीटर पर आवर को मीटर पर सेकेंड में बच्चों कैसे कन्वर्ट करेंगे? कन्वर्जन सबसे पहले याद कर लो. ये तो बहुत सिंपल सा कन्वर्जन है, हमको पता है 1 किलोमीटर में कितना मीटर होते हैं और 1 आवर में कितना सेकेंड्स होता है. वी कैन कन्वर्ट इट वेरी इजली. ओके, सो लेट मी गिव यू द आइडिया अबाउट दिस क्लास, हाउ वी कैन कन्वर्ट इट. वेरी सिंपल. वी ऑल नो दैट 1 किलोमीटर इज इक्वल टू 1000 मीटर. राइट, पता है हम सबको 1 किलोमीटर कितने इक्वल होता है? 1000 मीटर के. तो अब यहां पे क्या होगा? 36 इंटू 1000. 1 आवर, एक आवर में 60 मिनट्स. 1 मिनट इज इक्वल टू 60 सेकेंड. सो 60 इंटू 60 which means 3600 seconds. These two zero get cancel out. This will just a minute. This will also cancel out. That will give you 10 meter per second. Right? Same answer. 10 meter per second. Very simple. Very good, Anshu. Very nice. Correct. Now, one more example. A train is moving with a uniform speed, covers a distance of 120 meter in 2 seconds. वो मूव कर रही है यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड के साथ. डिस्टेंस उसने कवर करी है 120 मीटर इन 2 सेकेंड. कैलकुलेट द स्पीड ऑफ द ट्रेन एंड द टाइम इट विल टेक टू कवर द डिस्टेंस ऑफ 240 मीटर. अगेन वेरी सिंपल. ये सारे क्वेश्चन जो आप देख रहे हो ये डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है. ये डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है, तो एग्जाम्स में भी आते हैं फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. सिंपल, हमें फॉर्मूला पता होना चाहिए. जैसे हम फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करेंगे वी विल गेट द आंसर. बट एक चीज वहां पे बहुत ध्यान से देखनी. कभी कभी क्या होता है, जैसे यहां पे ये दिया है, इसको आप किलोमीटर में दे देंगे, इसको आप आर में दे देंगे, तो कन्वर्ट करना है हमको उसको स्टैंडर्ड यूनिट में. ऐसा नहीं करना है कि क्वेश्चन पढ़ा और हमको लगा अरे हमें तो फॉर्मूला पता है, बहुत जल्दी से सॉल्व कर लेंगे, बहुत इजीली सॉल्व कर लेंगे, और वहां पे हम करते हैं मिस्टेक. क्या मिस्टेक होती है? हमने ध्यान नहीं दिया वहां पे कि यूनिट्स क्या लिखी हुई थी, हमने आंसर कैलकुलेट करा और लिख दिया, एंड देयर वहां पे हमारे मार्क्स कट हो जाएंगे, राइट? बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आपको कन्वर्ट, जब तक ये नहीं पूछा, अब जैसे ये मीटर सेकंड में था, मैं आपसे ये ना कहूं कि स्पीड, फाइंड द स्पीड ऑफ द ट्रेन इन किलोमीटर पर आवर, तब तक नहीं करना है, स्टैंडर्ड यूनिट में ही रखना है, मीटर पर सेकंड में, ठीक है? अगर किसी क्वेश्चन में स्पेशली मेंशन कर रहा है फाइंड द स्पीड इन किलोमीटर पर आवर, देन आप उसको उसमें ही रहने दो, अगर वो किलोमीटर और आवर में दिया है। चलो जल्दी से सॉल्व करते हैं। स्पीड कितना होता है, क्या होता है फॉर्मूला? डिस्टेंस डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम। डिस्टेंस उसने कितनी कवर करी थी? 120 मीटर 2 सेकंड में, तो 120 बाई 2 दैट विल बी 60 मीटर पर सेकंड। वेरी सिंपल, वेरी इजी। सेकंड पार्ट, द टाइम इट विल टेक टू कवर 240 मीटर। 240 मीटर की डिस्टेंस कितने टाइम में कवर करेगा? बहुत सिंपल है। अब यहां पे क्या करा आपको, फॉर्मूला होता है स्पीड का डिस्टेंस डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम। 240 मीटर डिस्टेंस दे दी, ठीक है, और स्पीड अब हमको पता थी, स्पीड हमको पता थी 60 मीटर पर सेकंड है, तो अब क्या हो गया, स्पीड इज इक्वल टू डिस्टेंस 240 डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम। तो टाइम यहां से कितना कैलकुलेट हो जाएगा, 240 डिवाइडेड बाय 60, कितना आ गया, 4 सेकंड। इजी, ठीक है सर, ये तो बहुत इजी है फॉर्मूले, हाँ बहुत इजी है, डायरेक्टली बेस्ड ऑन द फॉर्मूला। नेक्स्ट क्लासेस में बहुत अच्छे न्यूमेरिकल्स डिस्कस करने वाले हैं, बट बिफोर दैट आपको क्या करना है, यहां पे जितनी चीजें हमने पढ़ी उनकी प्रैक्टिस करनी है, ठीक है? बिकॉज देखो बच्चों, यहां पे ये चीजें आपको क्लियर होनी चाहिए। व्हाट इज स्केलर क्वांटिटी, व्हाट इज वेक्टर क्वांटिटी, व्हाट इज डिस्टेंस, डिस्प्लेसमेंट, एक्सेलरेशन, राइट? और यहां तक आज हम कवर कर चुके हैं, ये सारी चीजें हमने कवर कर ली हैं, ठीक है? तो अभी जो लास्ट दो क्लासेस हुई हैं, इनमें ये जो सारी चीजें पढ़ी इनको रिवाइज करना है। और ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने सिर्फ ये चीजें पढ़ी हैं, अब डिस्टेंस, अच्छा स्पीड एंड वेलोसिटी भी नहीं लिखा मैंने यहां पे, स्पीड वेलोसिटी भी हम कवर कर चुके हैं। अब एक्सेलरेशन में हमने देखा कब होता है पॉजिटिव एक्सेलरेशन, जीरो एक्सेलरेशन, निगेटिव एक्सेलरेशन, तो ये सारी चीजें क्लियर होनी चाहिए। नेक्स्ट क्लास में क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं, इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम पढ़ेंगे इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन को, एंड देन हम डिस्कस करेंगे ग्राफ्स को, या फिर हो सकता है पहले हम ग्राफ डिस्कस करें फिर इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन को डिस्कस करें। तो ये दोनों बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, बहुत ही अच्छे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं एग्जाम्स में इससे, तो डोंट मिस द क्लास, एंड ये सारी चीजें करनी है। एंड अगेन द स्टूडेंट्स हु ज्वाइन लेट, उनके लिए मैं वापस से बता दूं व्हाट इज हियर, you can join the classes on a regular basis. You need to visit this site. When you are visiting this site, what you need to do, you need to apply, first of all you need to fill all the information, जो भी आपको कोर्स लेना है, जो भी आपको कोर्स यहाँ पे बाय करना है, first of all you need to fill all the information, then you need to apply this code Ashutosh 20. Ashutosh is my name, you all know that, and when you are applying 20 after my name, you will get 20% instant discount, and definitely that will be helpful for you. So you can join the classes where you will get 24/7 support from us, you will get some good content from a very experienced faculty. Okay, so अंशु कब है सर क्लास? हाँ देखो बच्चे, मैं आपको वापस से बता दूं, मंडे, ट्यूसडे एंड फ्राइडे, ठीक है? एंड फ्राइडे आज यहां पे ना एक और क्लास होने वाला है, व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस हियर, यहां पे हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं कि आप एग्जाम्स में 90 अबव 95% अबव कैसे मार्क्स स्कोर कर सकते हो, द बेस्ट ट्रिक देयर, ओके? एंड वो क्लास कितने बजे से? वो क्लास है 6 o'clock, ठीक है? So do join this class, you will get the idea how you can score some good marks in your exams. Exams बहुत पास में, टाइम बहुत कम है, बहुत सारा सिलेबस है जो कवर करना है। I will let you know कि कैसे ये सारी चीजें आप बहुत इजी वे में कर सकते हो, ठीक है? तो क्लास, that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed the class, and definitely we are going to meet in the next class today itself. So be prepared for that. एंड आज जो हमने सारी चीजें करी हैं उनको रिवाइज करो, क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो, और कोई भी डाउट अगर हो रहा है, यू कैन आस्क इट टू मी इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. Till then, take care of yourself everyone. Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye bye.